Is there any unexplored land left on this earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. And not up around the North Pole, because it's getting crowded up there now, because they find out it's really usable, not only to live in, but militarily. But strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And that's beyond the pole on the other side of the South Pole from Middle America. And I think it's quite astonishing that there should be an area as big as that unexplored.
That's a tremendous
So
challenge.
there's a lot of adventure left down at the bottom of the world.
Well,
we've found enough of coal within 180 miles of the South Pole in a great ridge of mountains. It's not covered with snow, enough to supply the whole world for quite a while.
Well,
that's the coal. Now there's evidence of many other minerals. We are pretty sure there's oil. Now that coal shows the bottom of the world. Now by far the coldest spot in the world. Where that coal is gets 100 below zero in the winter.
well,
It was once tropical. So we think there's oil there, and there's evidence, probably uranium there.
is it any...
Could you make it rain?
No.
Well, that's the subject of tonight's Weird Weather.
In the early 1900s, there was a gentleman who said he could make it rain. Charles M. Hatfield. Well, he said for $50, he could deliver. Well, Los Angeles farmers said, we need rain. Will you make it rain? He did. And they were so happy, they paid him $100. Well, there was a lake in the area, Lake Hemet. He said for $4,000, he could deliver 4 inches of rain. So he made this tower and he mixed up some chemicals. Guess what? 11 inches of rain fell and it rose 22 feet. Operators say it was the best bargain they'd ever had. There was another area that needed it. San Diego City contracted him to fill Lake Marina in 1 year. If he did it, $10,000. If not, he didn't get a penny. January 1st, he put his towers up and started sending his chemicals away. January 5th, it began to rain.
If you believe your Bible, read first chapter of Ezekiel. Ezekiel saw the wheel. It pretty much describes what you would describe now as a UFO, an aircraft from outer space that comes and lands on the planet Earth. I mean, read it. I know everybody's going to say I'm a tinfoil hat wearing redneck, but the reality is there's something out there and we're not addressing it.
This might be the best UFO footage I've ever seen, and it's all thanks to a viewer that tagged me in it. The witness of this UFO was hang gliding in Sutter Buttes, California when he observed a dark object moving towards him at high speeds. I reached out to the witness directly to see what he thinks it was, and he said it could have been a balloon. Now, hear me out. I'm really hung on this because a balloon is a good starting point considering there's markings on the UFO, but it just doesn't add up. The object looked too steady and controlled as it moved past him. Not to mention, the witness said the object was moving towards him at high speeds. In fact, it almost collided with him. Because balloons don't weigh much, it wouldn't have been able to maintain its composure as a hang glider passed it.
What the hell? Weird.
Okay, just wait for it. Watching Fox. And something just flew by these military planes. What was that?
This manhole and a camera swivels, and stares at us. I'm like, oh God, and then we realized we were into some critical shit. It was just telecommunication hubs.
An exposed manhole cover and a tunnel that you can get to.
Dude, we wiggled through tunnel to tunnel, through tiny crevices. We were getting into the deep underbelly of the city. I mean, it was not easy to get to. At the same time, we had been cracking all of the abandoned tube stations. Took a map from 1932 and we set a map from 2008 on top of it. And what you see are a bunch of stations that are no longer on the map. That's your first clue.
they going above and beyond to promote the devil, and it's pissing me off. And that is something that I want everybody who can hear this interview to know. As much as I'm supposed to be promoting this movie and talking about my album, I just feel like we're in competition right now because they are trying to normalize the devil. They are trying to the devil is on the main stage at award shows and in every video and signs and symbols. And I said, you know what? We need to stop treating our relationship with Jesus like the little buddy that you talk to before you go to bed at night, and not be more vocal about all the things that God means to us and all of the things that God has brought us through. Yeah, they going above and beyond to promote the devil, and it's pissing me off. Because the devil worshippers used to be real secretive, going down in the basement, this secret world. Now they just
they on the device too.
Yeah,
believe that.
I mean, it's kind of it. They don't talk about God no other time publicly other than a big moment happening, and yet people are worshiping the devil publicly all year long. The whole music video had devil worshiping in it. Y'all see this? Y'all see what's going on? So at the end of the day, man, I just had to really realize, like, wow, man, Denzel Washington does not do an interview on a red carpet or a sit-down interview. He does not do any interviews without at some point transitioning into talking about the goodness of God.